As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. A quote by John F. Kennedy. Welcome to another informative and exciting Monday edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. We have news and more after these messages. Stay with us.
Water is precious. So we encourage everyone to practice the 4 R's of water conservation. Always remember to reduce your use of water wherever possible. Replace water wasting devices with water savings devices. Reuse water wherever possible. And wherever leaks are found, please repair them and repair them quickly.
Don't delay. Practice the 4 R's of water conservation today.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan, and this is your JIS News for Monday, April 8, 2024. The Jamaica Promotions Corporation, JAMPRO, and Agro-Investment Corporation, AgroInvest, will be strengthening cooperation to promote growth in investment and export of agribusiness products. The two entities signed a Memorandum of Understanding at JAMPRO's corporate offices in Kingston on April 4. CEO of AgroInvest, Vivian Scully, and President of JAMPRO, Shillette Cox, signed on behalf of their agencies. The agreement will provide for greater collaboration on the development, packaging, and promotion of agricultural investment projects and the growth of agribusiness exports. The AgroInvest CEO adds that the partnership aims to support agro-park expansion, increase agro-processing, and boost exports. This, he says, is a major step towards achieving growth for the future of the agricultural sector in Jamaica. eGov Jamaica Limited has earned international certification for its software engineering quality management systems. The ISO 9001-2015 certification was officially handed over during a recent ceremony. Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, Senator Dana Morris Dixon, says it's the entity's way of showing the world that it is dedicated to quality and excellence.
This international standard is more than a badge of honor. It's a reflection of deep dedication to systematic and process-driven approaches that guarantee the highest levels of service delivery.
She has praised eGov for being at the core of the digital transformation thrust, adding that by elevating its software and emergency quality management systems, the entity is both improving its internal operations as well as its credibility and image in the eyes of customers and stakeholders. ISO 9001 is the internationally recognized standard for quality management systems. 30 local and regional customs agents were recently trained in container targeting to help fight against organized crime in the Caribbean. The 2-day training workshop was sponsored by the Direction of Security and Defense Corporation of the French Ministry of Europe and Foreign Affairs in collaboration with the French Embassy in Jamaica and the French Customs Administration, working with the Jamaica Customs Agency JCA. CEO and Commissioner of the JCA, Velma Ricketts-Walker, says that while programs are being implemented to facilitate legitimate trade, there have been efforts to erode such measures. She insists that agents must therefore be equipped with the relevant knowledge to implement strategies to eliminate the cross-border movement of illicit goods and activities.
This program will certainly support the fight against organized crime in the Caribbean region and will strengthen our technical cooperation and operational capacities, particularly among the participating countries. This coordinated approach to border management will bring about increased information sharing and improve cooperation with our local, regional, and international partners.
While this particular training is being implemented in Jamaica for the first time, this is the 42nd forum since its 8-year installation. Over 1,300 customs specialists have gone through the program.
Here in the region and in Europe, a threat that endangers not only the well-being of our countries, but also the lives of our loved ones and of our children drug trafficking. In this regard, this training course is particularly relevant. Targeting and searching containers is at the heart of the fight against drug trafficking in our globalized and containerized economy.
Local science innovators are being encouraged to showcase their work at this year's 8th Biennial Science and Technology Conference. The event is held every 2 years as part of the Science and Technology Month celebrations. The conference will take place from October 29 to November 1 at the Jamaica Conference Center under the theme Harmony in Innovation, Unleashing the Power of Nuclear Application for Sustainable Development. Executive Director of the Scientific Research Council, SRC, Dr. Chara Watson, says the conference will reflect ongoing discussions on nuclear application in Jamaica.
In fulfilling our mandate for science popularization and supporting science education, we facilitate or create avenues or medium through which we can have those discourses that are important to the public, important to every aspect of our life, and also support development in different ways.
She was addressing a recent JIS think tank. The conference is open to all researchers, policymakers, academics, innovators, and the general public. Interested persons can visit the SRC website at src.gov.jm for more information. And finally, there are no reports of any Jamaicans being affected by the 4.8 magnitude earthquake that rocked New York City and its environs on the United States East Coast Friday. Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Orlando Terrelong, gave the assurance in a press statement on the weekend. The state minister says he has had dialogue with Jamaica's Consul General in New York, Alcyon Wilson, and was assured that no information had surfaced that any of the country's nationals were harmed by the tremor. Mr. Terrelong says the Foreign Affairs Ministry will continue to liaise with Jamaican diaspora groups and organizations across the tri-state as it monitors the situation. The epicenter of the earthquake, which is one of the strongest to hit the U.S. East Coast in recent times, was located near Lebanon, New Jersey, and could be felt from Pennsylvania to Connecticut. Mr. Terrelong is encouraging Jamaicans in the area to take all the necessary safety precautions to protect themselves and their families, as aftershocks can continue for days and even months. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Your government is empowering you through education, training, and development. That is why we have removed all fees for every Jamaican accessing training through the Heart NSTA Trust. So, whatever you desire training in, food and hospitality, beauty and cosmetology, housekeeping and hotel management, welding, carpentry, masonry, or any of the dozens of programs Heart offers, you can enroll completely free and change your life. We are building Jamaica.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Our children are the future of our nation, and we must provide all the necessary tools for them to cultivate a promising future. In his recent budget presentation, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that the government would establish a Jamaica 60 Hope for Children Trust Fund. Stay tuned to know more.
I'm pleased to announce that the government will establish the Jamaica 60 Hope for Children Trust Fund. The purpose of the fund is to help to close the wealth gap and address the issue of intergenerational poverty by creating a trust account specifically catered to vulnerable children. The Hope for Children Trust Fund will provide each eligible child with a long-term savings account funded through annual contributions from the government. Parents, guardians, and other donors will also be able to make deposits into the account for the future benefit of any specific child. The accumulated funds, including interest, will be accessible on or after the child's 18th birthday for specific purposes such as education, to purchase a home or commercial property, or invest in business. Any child in Jamaica born on or after the 60th anniversary of our independence, that is August 6, 2022, who is part of the PATH program, meaning that they are born into a PATH household, or they are a ward of the state, will be eligible for this trust. The central idea behind the program is to provide children with a lump sum to start them in life upon attaining adulthood. Our initial target is a lump sum of between $600,000 and $800,000 to be available on the 18th birthday of any eligible child. We will also explore alternatives to establish and manage this program. It could be part of the National Insurance Fund, or we may consider having private insurance companies administer the fund. This is, I believe, a groundbreaking initiative.
Lowering the sodium content in children's diets today can help prevent heart disease later in their life, especially for those who are overweight. Shake the salt habit, shop smart and cook smart. Use less or no salt when cooking. Try using fresh herbs and seasonings to add more flavor. Limit the consumption of salty snacks. Take the time to carefully read the nutrition labels on food products to identify those high in salt and choose the healthier options. Remember, no more than 2 grams of salt per day from all food sources for children under 11 years of age.
Our body takes care of us, but are we taking care of it? Do you read the labels on the foods you are consuming? Well, it's never too late to start. Let's read it before we eat it.
Part of maintaining good health is knowing our nutritional requirements and what is in the foods we consume. When we know, we are able to make better choices about what we eat and empowered to avoid non-communicable diseases (NCDs) such as diabetes, hypertension, cancers, and cardiovascular diseases like stroke and heart disease. In recognition of this, the government encourages consumers to look carefully on the ingredients and nutrition facts labels on foods.
NCDs is a national crisis, and what and how we eat is a contributory factor to developing or worsening. Our message, healthy eating, active living, read it before you eat it, places emphasis on educating and empowering people about the choices made for food consumption. In keeping with our vision for a healthy Jamaica, our goal is to equip Jamaicans to read food labels in order to make healthier food choices.
The fact that more than 70% of death in Jamaica are linked to NCD conditions, which are increasing, is enough reason for all of us to eat healthy foods, exercise regularly, and get adequate rest. Like sweet music to the soul, the healthy living message must resonate, and the Ministry of Health is chiming through the airwaves with its public awareness campaign.
And the fats by percentile, less in upon the right track. You feel zoom in on the nutrition facts. It ain't in the table on the side or the back. Vitamins, minerals, and vitamin 20% and more that good for you. You feel zoom in, check the nutrition facts. You feel zoom in, check the nutrition facts. You feel zoom in, check the nutrition facts. Less sugar, less salt intake, and less fat.
It is our collective responsibility to take stock of the health impact of excesses in sugars, salts, and fats, and take steps to reduce consumption.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness, through the Nutrition Facts Panel media campaign, is fast tracking its response to the scourge of non-communicable diseases (NCD) by getting more Jamaicans to zoom in on what's in their food. The campaign is a collaborative effort of the Ministry of Health, the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, National Health Fund, and the Jamaica Association of Professionals in Nutrition and Dietetics.
I think this is a great start, and it supports the other things that we're doing, like school nutrition policy, the physical activity program, the elimination of trans fats, and so on. We have to see it all related and linked and make the push to get it working.
Preliminary findings of a recent baseline evaluation survey for Nutrition Facts Panel Education campaign show that while 70% of Jamaicans have a general awareness of Nutrition Facts Panel and 69% express a positive attitude towards them, only 30% are able to accurately interpret and apply the information on them. Ingredients on food labels are listed from the greatest to the least amount of nutrients. Pay attention to things like fats, sodium, and sugar, of which you are to consume a percentage daily value of 5% or less. Keep these in mind as well. The general daily limit of added sugars is 6 teaspoons or 24 grams for women and children, while for men it's 9 teaspoons or 36 grams. Your fat intake should be 6 teaspoons or 30 grams, including 13 grams for saturated fat. The general daily limit for sodium is less than 1 teaspoon or 20 grams. It's also recommended that we reduce consumption of foods that have a percentage daily value greater than 20%. Choose foods that are high in dietary fiber, minerals such as iron, calcium, magnesium, and potassium, and vitamins. Go for products with percentage daily values greater than 20% for these nutrients.
It is important that Jamaicans learn to read and interpret the Nutrition Facts Panel with its information on serving sizes, calories, nutrients, and percent daily value for the individual intake. This will empower people to choose foods that allow them to maintain energy and the appropriate nutrient requirements, particularly sugars, salts, and fats.
So, next time you go shopping, remember to read it before you eat it. And don't just read it, do so and make the best nutrition choice for your good health.
Water is life, and this most precious resource must be protected at all costs. Bushfires can severely damage our watersheds and negatively impact by draining the amount of water we have in our storage facilities. Let's learn how we can conserve water by limiting potential fire hazards.
Unplanned fires that burn in natural areas such as forests, grasslands, and savannas are called bushfires. They are usually caused by human activities done in error. In Jamaica, individuals burning garbage or clearing fields, farmers burning land for replanting, and individuals throwing away lit cigarettes are all actions that can cause bushfires. Natural occurrences such as lightning can also cause bushfires. This happens when lightning strikes and ignites dry trees and bushes. Bushfires can have deleterious or harmful effects on the natural environment. Managing Director of the Water Resources Authority, Peter Clark, wants citizens to pay keen attention to habits that can cause bushfires and be more proactive. One of the effects of bushfires is soil erosion. When burnt material from fires infiltrate the soil and form a waxy layer, this makes it difficult for water to infiltrate the ground during rainfall. Similarly, when the roots of plants burn, they can no longer hold soil particles in place. Bushfires also cause harm to the country's watersheds and have a negative impact on water resources. This continues the vicious cycle of water shortage.
So that when we are gathering water, we then have to probably not take that initial water into reservoirs because the sediment level is so high. This is created by the conditions that the bushfires would have set up. And so It leads to increased treatment costs. It leads to diversion of water that could have been collected for time, as we are now in need of water. That could have been collected, but it has to be diverted because the erosion and the sediment is so high.
Bushfires also cause the depletion of stored water in facilities like the Mona Reservoir when the precious liquid is used for dampening blazes.
The Jamaica Fire Brigade had to call on the Jamaica Defence Force, who had to use its helicopter and to pull gallons of water, dipping bucket into the Mona Reservoir to hold bushfire. Now that I understand is almost 1,000 buckets of water was removed from the Mona Reservoir to put out bushfire.
A December 2022 report from the Meteorological Service of Jamaica showed that all parishes were experiencing rainfall levels below their respective 30-year averages. Kingston and St. Andrew recorded a mere 5% of their average rainfall. Since the start of this year, the country has been experiencing a meteorological drought.
The fact that it is a meteorological drought means that right now, the rivers that are served largely by almost instantaneous rainfall, the rivers that are emanating and being sourced from areas that are of the volcanic rocks are being impacted.
Mr. Clark says rivers in the Blue Mountains and the Wandibolas Mountain are being affected. This has resulted in certain water sources being impacted, and that's why an increase in bushfires is worrying for the Water Resources Authority.
There must be concern when water that has been abstracted and gathered for domestic purposes is being used to out bushfires. We have a very serious and strong concern about that.
To minimize the risks and ensure that precious resources are used for their intended purpose, it is important that citizens do not carelessly light and leave fires unattended.
Our streets don't magically clean themselves. While the nation is at rest, fairies are out making sure we wake up to clean environs. Yes, I'm talking about sanitation workers. Let's join them on a journey of cleanliness under the mantra, Na Dirty Up Jamaica.
Once upon a time, in a land far away from a fairy tale, were a people who lived the way you and I do, but a little differently. Much like the shoemaker and the elves, these street fairies don't leave beautiful pairs of shoes behind, but their art shares some similarities, and it's nonetheless worthy of recognition.
Good night, Dana Anderson, shovel user, shovel and drum, clean up Jamaica.
I'm working in company 8 years now. I like the job, keep the place tidy and clean.
They always say to me, they say, this is not a woman's work, but a woman has to do what a woman has to do, eh? You have to work for yours, eh? Nobody ain't gonna give you nothing, so you have to work for it.
Yeah, enough of the woman work hard and plenty of the man them. I get used to my work still, so I feel no different from the man them. At the end of the day, I will bread where I work for. So any work I work for woman. Woman do man work nowadays.
I'm all right with my work. Yeah, I can provide for myself, my nephew, my niece, my child. She don't really like me day out here, you know, she rather me day with she, but I have to make ends meet. I have to work, I have to pay my bills them. But they don't give me nothing, I have to work my own. But people that see me and want to style me and this, because I try to chuck work me doing them things there. But I don't really watch my face. Because I know, say, when my money enough, you see me?
I want to burn fire upon this whole foolishness that people talk from time to time about. If they don't litter, people don't get work.
Yeah, that's what them say some my time. But them can do better still. Plenty of them can do better still.
Enough of them like we, enough don't like we, because sometimes we have to do with all the truck like all that, so now them not say,
We move from there, say we don't thinking truck and them things, but we don't care about that. That's our work.
When you litter, you waste the resource of your country. You make life more difficult for yourself and your fellow men. And you destroy the aesthetic, the beauty of our country that we boast about so much.
We are cleaning up Jamaica. And without cleaning up not Jamaica, wiper, disease and germs are broke out. So everybody who work with solid waste, important people them. All are important.
Differently from the sweeper them, we don't like the garbage bag up and we go through it more easier for we. More time we come out and have to wait on the sweeper them like on the just seat right now. We have to wait till the street sweep up, but if it's bag up, it's more easier for we.
Just the fact that you are generating solid waste, I ask you to just take some time to package it properly so that it gives us more ease of cleaning. And it also helps the side men, side women. They are human beings too. Their job is already very difficult. Don't make it more difficult for them by giving them extra work to do. It is very tough on them. The job is difficult. You know, it's not just about lifting things put in a truck, but some of the things they encounter out here. Bags with human feces. It's common occurrence, especially in the market district. The smell of urine is everywhere and it's in the solid waste that they're picking up. All sort of meat cuttings, fish bone, fish back, fish gut. Just about anything that people don't want, and they have to pick it up. They have to face it.
A certain time at the night, when we reach certain hours at the night, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, gunman can strike and we have to run left the garbage some of the time and all them things then. And come back around and take it up see because we cannot leave it. See me? We cannot leave it. And we don't like them keep Jamaica beauty and clean.
Well, I stay out of them way and I'm not really go for them though. I still think them happening. I just stay by myself, each time I look a corner.
And yet despite the tough nature of the job, these people show up not just for work, but they show up and work.
We're backbone of the company, you know. Who clean the rubbish and my backbone, we're the most important people in the company. And we clean the work, enough mess and good rubbish, bad rubbish, all different kind of rubbish.
I believe deep in my heart that if you talk about heroes and heroines, our sidemen and sidewomen are right up there with any, because of the human service that they provide and in very tough circumstances to keep Jamaica clean. Day after day, night after night, they are out and about, they roll up the sleeve, and notwithstanding all that they have to face, their head is down and they are going relentlessly in pursuit of that clean Jamaica. I laud them, I lift my hat to them. They are good people. I just hope that more and more people will see them for who they are. People who are there to safeguard the health of the nation. They are the NSWNA. Without them, we are nothing.
Yeah, I love my work. I love it. I love clean the shovel.
I really get me use a night time
And as sunbeams break the night sky and the stars and moon bid their goodbye, the city smiles.
We've come to the final stop of today's magazine, but the journey doesn't end here. Join us tomorrow, same time, on this station for another informative edition. Until then, visit our website at jis.gov.jm. From the production team here at the JIS, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.